Got any suggestions?
Dad rock?
Now you speaking my language.
Take 5. The stay in your car 10-minute oil change.
One of the things with running is I want to enjoy the run, but I never made it very far because the arches in my feet just killed me. So when I got to the end of my rope and I said I have to do something to get rid of the pain, and a couple people recommended the Good Feet store to me. I loved how I could go in and get a free personalized arch support fitting. They put that time, that work, that effort into helping you find the right arch supports. And you can walk around this store with these in your shoes and try them out before you purchase them. So after I got my arch supports, the arches at my feet stopped hurting and the pain instantly, literally instantly went away. So if you have pain, go. Find a Good Feet store and go. There is an answer. Find the simple solution that will get rid of your pain. I'm Rondi, and that's my Good Feet story.
See how Good Feet arch supports work for you before you buy with a free fitting and test walk at the Good Feet store.
Now open in Naperville, Orland Park, Skokie, and Schaumburg.
Is that a new Samsung?
We're on the air. You're on the
air. Okay, we're back in regular session. We had a executive session before the regular session, so we took a recess and we'll just get right back into it. So second item on the agenda is Discover Mokena. Clerk?
Actually, I think it's BBL Boxing Solutions, Glenn.
Well, I just wanted you to say it for me.
You're welcome. You're just testing me.
I told you I was looking for a computer today, and I'm all confused. BVI Boxing Solutions, Brian?
Yes. What do you want me to do?
Come on up to the podium.
So my name is Brian Leonard, and we opened BBL Boxing Solutions 2 months ago. And good news is it was Channel 9 came today with Anna, and they did the show from the boxing, so pretty nice. Going on, it's almost a year that my son passed away from an overdose, and some of his regimen when he was in his recovery phase was boxing as an exercise, because you got to incorporate exercise into during your recovery process. So boxing was it. My oldest son Joey would box with him. The boxing program was designed by my brother, who works with Mercy Home for boys and girls downtown. So it was pretty well rounded. So when my son died, my other son said we should open this gym in his memory. And so we just decided we did a lot of praying and we did a lot of talking to experts and stuff like that. And what we decided was that this would be a good mechanism. We are a non-for-profit. We are offering it to regional rehab places. And inviting anyone that wants to go, you come in, they can work out for a month for free. We want to be a safe community and more of a, I always tell people, we're not therapists, we're not counselors. All we can do is make a nice, safe environment for the people that want to visit. And Mary, I think you were there.
I was there with Trustee Engler.
Yes,
okay.
And Mr. Schlegel, we were there and we watched everybody do their whatever you call it, what do you call that? Their circus. Yeah. And it was like, I'm watching them and I'm like, there was one guy there doing planks and I got tired watching him do it. They have weighted jump ropes, but the circuit, it's amazing. It was really amazing and I appreciate what you're doing.
So Gabby Baracco runs the gym. I just do the outside thing. I'm like the pretty face. So I want her to say a couple words about what goes on during the day.
Thank you. Thanks, Uncle Brian. So this is my Uncle Brian. I'm Gabby. Hi, how are you guys? This is a really special thing, as you heard my Uncle Brian explain. So my cousin Brian was my Uncle Brian's son. So this is it's in here. So knowing that we've now got this place where we can bring people to have community, have support, and it's open to everybody. We've got these awesome kids classes starting. How is it, girls? Do we have fun? We do. We have a lot of fun. And we're seeing an influx of these teenage kids coming in. This is like so cool because this is where it started a couple generations back. So my Uncle Brian's father, he would get kids in off the street. Like, come on, you're coming with me, we'll go in the box. And it's continued. So my cousin Brian, who we lost, was a big part of that. And it was something that kept him going. It kept him alive a lot more years than maybe it would have if it wasn't around. So here we are. This is fun. We've got women's classes. We've got these co-ed classes. It's been amazing watching these people come in that are kind of like unsure and they just kind of want to come check it out, and then they're in there and then they're starting to feel more comfortable and confident, and then they're like, okay, well, I'm going to come to a class, and they do. We've got this guy that, he came in off the street and he's there almost every single day, and he comes and he hangs out. He had hernia surgery and he was back a week later and he was just there to hang out. So this has been, like I said, I think community and support has been the deepest part of this, and it means the most to us. So we're excited to be here. This is great meeting you guys. I've talked and seen and met some of you, and we had a lot of smiles come around, and it means a lot. So thank you guys, and I look forward to meeting more of you, and yeah, that's it. Does anyone have any questions or?
Just a comment, Kathy. Thank you very much for opening that
Thank you.
over here. Because
I appreciate
when we were in there watching them, they were really it was interesting because they were really getting into it. You don't realize how much of a workout it is.
It is.
Because they use everything. They just don't walk.
All this.
So it was good. I've seen a few of the old timers that were there, and that's good.
Yeah, I know. It's great. Boxing with the Beatles.
And they enjoyed
quite
themselves.
a hit.
Yes.
I know. We tried to get you to come.
Well, like I said, what I noticed too was, it was interesting because it's not boxing. You're not like knocking somebody out in there. It's
You're
like you
not
said,
fighting for your life.
they have weighted jump ropes, they have all kinds of stuff, but can you give people your address so they know where you're at?
Yes, we are. So it's on the back of the pamphlet. If anyone needs one, let me know. But we're 9620 Willow Lane, right across from Fuller's. So, yeah, easy time.
We wish you the best. Thank you
Thank you very much, you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, now, Clark, you're on.
Okay, the community calendar for March 2025. March 11th is a recycle day. March 14th, the Mokena Park District's Shamrock Search. It's from 6 o'clock p.m. to 7:30 p.m. at 10925 LaPorte Road. It's for ages 3 to 8. Pre-registration and a fee are required. For more information and to register, visit www.mokenapark.com, or you can call 708-390-2401. March 17th is the Village Board work session starting at 6 o'clock p.m. at the Village Hall. Early voting starts soon. It's March 17th through the 28th. Early voting is available at the Village Hall for the April 1st consolidated election. It's open Monday through Friday from 8:30 a.m. to 4 o'clock p.m. March 19th is the pre-registration and fee are required. We are missing a line. I'm sorry about that. We'll just go on. March 20th, the Planning Commission and Zoning Board of Appeals meeting is at 7 o'clock p.m. at the Village Hall. March 24th, the Village Board of Trustee meeting is at 7 o'clock p.m. at the Village Hall. And March 25th is a recycle day.
Okay, Clark, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, I think I know what all you folks are out there for. I think I got a good idea. So we got some answers for you, but still, could one person come up and explain to us what the problem is out there, please?
Are you referring to us?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
I'm Jean Bingham. I am one of 3 directors of Whisper Creek North Homeowners Association. Our subdivision consists of 70 residential lots and is almost completely built out, except for 2 lots presently under construction. The village has always welcomed public comments by residents to help with village problems. We are here requesting help. Lot 6, located at 18930 Delray, applied for his building permits in March of 2023. 2 years later, and it still is nowhere near completion, with no electric, no gas, no water to the house, and no exterior brick. We do not know the condition of the inside. During the 2 years of haphazard construction, both the HOA and residents have telephoned, emailed the village, notifying them of violations such as non-maintained silt fences, no lot cutting, construction debris all over the lot, a temporary storage container on the property since April 23rd, a ladder on the roof tied with rope since January 25th. Over this past weekend, graffiti was sprayed on the garage wood panels. I have photos that I've given to Brent for your review so you can see the entire life of this building. In attendance tonight is other board members and residents that want solutions to this ongoing building problem. What will the village president, trustees, and village staff do to get the builder owner in compliance with the Village of Mokena ordinances and building codes? When can we expect completion of this resident? And what are the consequences if the builder owner doesn't comply with your own ordinances?
Okay, Gene, thank you. You got all those answers for all those things, Bert?
I do. I'll do my best to try to answer a couple of these. From a permit standpoint, and I guess, Gene, as we discussed a little bit today, I know this isn't going to make everybody excited, but the official building permit was issued on October 22nd of 2023. Any work that was done prior to that was done without the building permit. So
they dumped the foundation in July.
Correct. And so there's some things that you've provided me. I know you provided me some pictures today, so we can get into a little bit more of that detail later, and I'll go through those. So October 22nd, 2023 to October 23rd of 2024, that is when the initial permit expired. The initial permit then, the village issued a 6-month extension. That 6-month extension takes us to April 23rd, 2025. So that's the date that I really want everybody to focus on. Again, I apologize for all of the work that occurred, prior to that and prior to the October 22nd, 2023 dates. I can't speak to all of that yet. I'll do my best to try to find some, as much information. But April 23rd, 2025, that's when the permit extension expires. We did go out today. I took a number of pictures along with Christoph, our assistant development director. We did issue a 14-day notice on all of the issues that we talked about. So the debris, the spray paint, silt fence. I want to make sure I'm capturing everything. Basically, the overall look of the site. So he does have a 14-day notice. If nothing is done after those 14 days, then that's when the citations begin. Beyond the citations, that's where there's an adjudication hearing, so he would have the ability to come in and explain why this is occurring. So what I'd like to do is, like I said, focus on that April 23rd, 2025 date. We can have an offline discussion, and I'd welcome, anybody that would like to come in. I'm more than happy to sit down and talk to everybody, go through these photos, go through all the documentation, and then figure out a path forward so we can get this completed and get you guys out of the situation that you're in.
Can I ask you one?
Yeah, of course.
The container was permitted separately, and that was supposed to be only on the lot until there was a secure place for him to put his building materials and his tools. That building has been up for months, 6 months, 8 months, and that container is still sitting on the property.
And that, I think, is very good information for me to have, the more information that I can get from you on exactly when that, that was placed, and then...
Yeah, I've got that included.
In all this, okay. And then we'll move forward on figuring out how we can proceed on removal of that.
I want people to understand that this project wasn't started when Bert was here.
Correct.
He ended up inheriting it and trying to fix it up, so we will get it fixed up, Gene. I promise you.
Comes with the job, and I, like I said, I do apologize for the current condition, and we're going to do our absolute best to get it back on track. I apologize. I appreciate everybody's time coming out tonight, and I appreciate everybody, giving us the ability to kind of work through this.
We have a lot more emails. I just given you a sample today. So if you want our entire volume of them, we are happy to forward them to you. It'll be a week's reading.
And we appreciate the resistance you will receive also, so we understand what will be coming your way as well. Not from us, not from us.
Sure. Yep.
Hey, Brent.
Yes.
The citations that we're going to give him, what are the costs? How much are those?
They can be up to $750. They can be up to $750 per day. After the initial adjudication hearing, so typically what happens is the initial adjudication hearing will occur. If the individual is not taking care of anything, that's when we move to the daily.
Okay.
So it doesn't just start as...
Yeah, I think you're probably wondering how much he's going to be paid.
It can be up to $750 per citation.
Counsel, how long could something like this go on?
Well, that's tough to answer, Mayor, because you don't know what he's going to do within the adjudication process, but obviously the village has their rights under their code, and we'll follow the code, just like we would with any resident. And we've had other projects in town that, haven't gone the way we wanted to, and we had to lean on the code and enforce the code, and that's what we do.
See, what bothers me, and I don't blame them, is how long could it take? How long do these people have to look at this damn thing?
One-man show. He said he's working his whole house.
No, understood. But we have to work within the limits of the code as well. So, the adjudicator has certain rights and remedies available to him to have him clean the site and so forth. We've had situations where on the one end of the spectrum, the person comes in and gets the job done. On the other end of the spectrum, they clean the site up and they sell it and they move on. So it'll be interesting to see what happens through the adjudication process.
Okay, but we'll keep an eye on this and keep all of your people informed.
Did they have subcontractors?
They are very few listed on their permit list.
Because I'm saying they have to have subcontract or license at least to do plumbing, electric.
It's all him. It's all him.
Plumbing is, almost all of the permit items are to be announced, to be determined.
Okay, because...
Okay, Debbie, what were you going to say?
I just wanted to thank you guys for coming out and letting us know and not screaming and yelling and just stating things. No, because we've had, and we try our best to, help you and whatever. And it's so much nicer to just listen to you explain, and we try to explain back, and I appreciate all you've done. And we'll work real hard to get this straightened out for you.
So as of right now, there's something spray painted on the side of the garage that says like $1 with a pile of bricks in front of it. And we don't know what's going on with that. Is he allowed to sell bricks on the lot? It's spray painted, there's plywood for the garage door. And it just says it used to say $1 or best offer, no returns.
Right.
Part of it got spray painted out today for whatever reason, but it still says $1.
And the bricks are still
there. And the bricks are still there. Is that allowed?
And beside that is also all his Bible verses saying we're all hypocritical neighbors, just also. You have to really know who you're dealing with. And I think this is all a formality that's lovely. But he's unhinged and crazy, so that's why we're saying in a lovely manner what's coming for you. He's awful.
He's said many things.
So we're not going to yell at you because we're not those people, but he certainly will yell at us on a regular basis. So
let me yell at you.
I think the village is aware of that because of them being, when the stop order was put on, he was from the second floor screaming out the windows
at neighbors, at village, at police officers.
I think for us, we all had to follow these rules and codes of building. I don't understand why it's just one guy thinks he can do whatever he wants. We pay a lot of money in taxes.
we all pay a lot of money to upkeep our beautiful homes. Why does one guy out of 70 lots?
Because there's always someone.
There's always someone.
And it's a shame, like Council said, we're going to do what we can, but there's always somebody, you know, who would much rather ask forgiveness than permission.
Sure, I guess it's just
You know, but we will take
the
care.
last house.
We will
That's the
take-
last house. That's the last house.
We will take care of that. George, you had a question or something to say?
Yeah, but also the trades. If he does not have a trade mark and he's done that work, you have to look at, that's another one you can go after him. Because you have to be a licensed plumber, licensed electrician to do the work.
So if he dug his foundation and poured his foundation prior to permit, was it ever inspected?
Because that was a violation of the stop work order, from what I researched, was that he never had his basement inspected.
I'm going to comment on this really briefly, Jane, only because I was here for some of the transition. It was when I was coming on and so forth. So I do know that Christoph did have to deal with that issue, and he did make him go through a review process, and there was a revision because there were issues that related to, and I can remember now, the insulation in the foundation, and we sent out notices relative to if you're leaving materials out there and they get compromised and you use them and we tell you to rip them out, don't be mad at us. So there's been this process along the way, and it's like progressive discipline that we're all used to, right? You got to slowly turn up the heat until the frog doesn't know they're boiled.
There are photos there when the container first got put on lot, and that would have been in, you know, I believe, maybe April. He had building materials delivered at that point, sitting all winter until he began, in the spring, until he began framing maybe in September. So that was all compromised wood that he put in his house.
Well, we're going to have to talk about that with Brent, Jane, because we're way over 3 minutes.
If you want to try all of us.
I'm going to get chewed out if I stop somebody else from talking.
We'll divide it by 3, only.
But the last thing I'll mention, just briefly, is we did make contact with him today. We did have...
He picked up some garbage.
So we did communicate with him. We are trying to set up a meeting with him. I think that's the best way to handle this. Get him, face to face and explain to him our expectations. So once we progress to that point, I will be sure to let you know what.
And how will you contact us? Through the director at Whisper Creek email?
I will probably give you a call if you don't mind.
Okay.
I would prefer to give you a call. I can put anything in writing as well, but I'd like to give you a call just so you...
Yeah, we would like it documented just so that we know what's going on, because if we do have to get an attorney involved, they're going to ask us for that information.
Well, we're all sorry that you folks have to go through this. We will be taking care of it, I promise.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, folks.
Thank you.
Thank you, folks, like Debbie said, for being so pleasant.
Yeah, we have a good representative.
We do. Very lucky.
And it's a good thing nobody walked in and sat in that chair, because that's her.
That's her chair.
Yes, that is her chair.
My husband came to a meeting one time, I don't know what was going on, and he went, and I know if that's Jean's chair, so I sat next to her.
Okay, folks, thank you. Do we have anybody else for public comments?
Jim Slagle, I live at 10732 River Road, Mokena. I'm a graduate of the Lakeland Area Citizen Community Police Academy several years ago. It's an excellent program. We see it starting up now. I hope that Jean will pass this information on to her HOAs. I think we have a beautiful new police station. I think we're bringing our officers up to speed and getting them trained. We have new police cars coming, but I still think it's responsible to neighbors and to be secure for their own security. Now, I live close enough to the police station that all I have to do with my whistle is get 3 long calls. I don't have to call 911. But not everybody is lucky as we are. I suggest that trustees, members of the Public Works Department, Administrative Department, and at least one group from each HOA attend these things, because I think we need eyes and ears on the street. The police can't be everywhere, especially when we're out in Whisper Creek, which is pretty isolated. I don't know how often the squads come by, but it does teach you how not, when you call, do not panic, give descriptions, estimate their height, their weight, and all that information. And our public works guys, they're always out in the streets. I mean, it's hard to go down the street without a public works truck. I mean, they're out looking through, they need to be informed, and they see something suspicious. So I hope the trustees, I hope the mayor talks about this, and I know it's a limited enrollment, and you have to be vented before you go through the program, but I hope we fill our quota. I think it'll make Mokena a safer community.
Thank you, Jimmy. Jimmy's right about this. The Citizens Police Academy, you go there, and what is it, Jim, about 6 nights?
I think it's
6 weeks?
It's 10 weeks. It's
10 weeks? And you go over everything that the officers do. They even take you to a morgue and everything. They show you what it's like when you stop somebody. They go through an exercise when you're walking up on a car, and that's the most dangerous part of being a police officer. But you really understand, after seeing that, what these men and women go through. And I agree with you. If you get a chance to go to that, take it, because you're going to learn something. Thanks, Jim, for bringing it up.
Thank you.
Okay, anybody else for public comments? Okay, consent agenda, Mr. Tomasowski.
Thank you, Mayor.
And I can stop it for a minute if you folks want to go. You don't have to stay for the whole meeting. Thank you, folks. Okay, John, thank you, I'm sorry.
Sure, no problem, Mayor. There are 4 items on the consent agenda this evening, and they are as follows. First item is a motion to conditionally approve the Our Fallen Hero Foundation in memory of Private First Class Aaron Toppin's 12th annual Our Fallen Hero 5K on Saturday, September 20, 2025, and authorize the use of municipal village resources for event coordination, contingent upon staff's confirmation and approval of the applicant's final application materials. Second item is a motion to conditionally approve the Mokena Baseball and Softball Association's annual parade and picnic on Sunday, June 1st, 2025, and they're authorized the use of municipal village resources for event coordination, contingent upon staff's confirmation and approval of the applicant's final application materials. Third item is a motion to approve Resolution 2025-R-002, appointing Village Attorney, Human Resource Director Carl Buck as the Village of Mokena's authorized agent for the Illinois Municipal Retirement Fund, and authorize the village clerk to execute the necessary documentation to effectuate this appointment. The final item is a motion to approve the minutes from the February 24th, 2025 board meeting and work session.
Motion, please.
Mayor, move to approve consent agenda items 7A, B, C, and D as depicted in the March 6, 2025 request for board action prepared by the village administrator.
Second.
Motion by trustee Engler, second by trustee McCanius. Any questions or comments from the board? Clerk, please take the roll.
Trustee Engler.
Aye.
Trustee Mokena.
Aye.
Trustee Dolphinet.
Aye.
Trustee Fedora.
Aye.
Trustee Germany.
Aye.
And Trustee Roberts.
Motion carried. Thank you, Jan.
You're welcome, Mayor.
Okay. Finance report, accounts payable. Monthly accounts. Please, Jan.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor. Before the board here this evening for accounts payable for March, it is totaling $1,368,481.13. One invoice I'd like to highlight is a purchase of 2023 International 4x4 dump truck in the amount of $131,259 to Rush Truck Center of Illinois, which was purchased under the state contract.
Motion, please.
Mayor, move to approve the monthly accounts payable in the amount of $1,368,481.13.
Second.
Motion by trustee Engler, second by trustee McCanius. Any questions or comments from the board? So the motion on the floor and properly seconded. Clerk, please take the roll.
Trustee Engler.
Aye.
Trustee Mokena.
Aye.
Trustee Dolphinet.
Aye.
Trustee Fedora.
Aye.
Trustee Germany.
Aye.
And Trustee Roberts.
Motion carried. Thank you, Jan.
You're welcome, Mayor.
Okay, appointments. Mr. Polkman.
Thank you, Mayor. Tonight before the board are two recommendations for appointments for the board to consider relative to open positions the Public Works Department has for Maintenance 1 positions in the Streets and Grounds Division. The positions are vacated from previous employees having promotions. We went through an extensive interview process, and the first recommendation we had is for Mr. Alejandro Lagunas. Mr. Lagunas comes to us from the city of Chicago Heights. He has over 13 years experience in both the Water and Streets Division, as well as some extensive experience in digging repairs both on water and sanitary and storm sewer. Given his broad expertise in the municipal maintenance and his leadership experience, I'm confident that Mr. Lagunas has the skills and knowledge necessary to perform all the role and contribute immediately to our operations here in the Public Works Department. And Mr. Lagunas is here with us tonight in the front row. I'm pleased to recommend him for appointment here to the board tonight.
Okay, motion please.
Mayor, move to approve the appointment of Alejandro Lagunas to the position of Maintenance 1 in the Streets and Grounds Division, and the starting step for that position pursuant to the collective bargaining agreement between the Village of Mokena and the International Union of Operating Engineers, Local 150, Public Employees Division, July 1st, 2022 through June 30th, 2026.
Second.
Motion by trustee Engler, second by trustee Batavius. Any questions or comments from the board? We have a motion on the floor and properly seconded. Clerk, please take the roll.
Trustee Engler. Aye. Trustee Matanias.
Aye.
Trustee Roberts.
Aye.
Trustee Germany.
Aye.
Trustee Fedora. Aye. And Trustee Dauphiné.
Aye.
Motion carried. Welcome, Alejandro. You want to say a couple words?
Well, I'd like to thank you for the opportunity, hiring me, and preparing me looking forward to the future. Thank you.
Thank you. You're a flexible guy with that, too.
It's a good time on my interview.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, second one.
Thank you, Mayor. Second is a recommendation for Mr. Chris Trudeau to fill the second open Maintenance 1 position. Mr. Trudeau has over 30 experience in commercial warehouse management and maintenance, as well as extensive customer service experience. He is a resident of Mokena and is from the Marley Creek area, and staff is confident that Mr. Trudeau possesses the skills and capabilities necessary to perform all tasks required of this position, and his background will make him a strong asset to this Public Works Department. It's a pleasure to recommend Mr. Trudeau for appointment here tonight to the M1 position.
Okay, motion please.
Mayor, move to approve the appointment of Christopher Trudeau to the position of Maintenance 1 in the Streets and Grounds Division at the starting step for that position pursuant to the collective bargaining agreement between the Village of Mokena and the International Union of Operating Engineers, Local 150, Public Employee Division, July 1st, 2022 through June 30th, 2026.
Second.
Motion by trustee Engler, second by trustee Matanias. Any questions or comments from the board? We have a motion on the floor, properly seconded. Clerk, please take the roll.
Trustee Engler. Aye. Trustee Matanias.
Aye.
Trustee Roberts.
Aye.
Trustee Germany.
Aye.
Trustee Fedora. Aye. And Trustee Dauphiné.
Aye.
Motion carried. Christopher, would you like to come up and say something? Can I see that you're
I just want to say thank you for the opportunity, and I look forward to contribute to keeping the town a great place to live.
Thank you very much. Very nice to meet you. Okay. Well, this is going to be interesting, Chief. Geothermal investment tax credit.
Thank you, Mayor. You may recall we covered this in our February 24th work session, but for the benefit of our viewers watching at home, we're going to get a little more involved in the geothermal process and walk through it. So I have a little slideshow here that I think we're trying to get up first. Okay, so you may recall when planning for the new police station, the village made the decision to choose a more environmentally friendly green option and install the geothermal heating and cooling system. This renewable energy source has a relatively low impact on the climate and is more environmentally friendly since it reduces the need to burn fossil fuels, which lowers greenhouse emissions. Basically, the geothermal system that we install consists of 32 wells drilled deep underground, about 250 feet each. It harnesses the natural heat from the earth to warm the glycol solution that runs in a closed-loop system throughout. The system flows through the use of heat pumps that are located, these are our heat pumps, I took some pictures of a few of them. I think we have about 18 of them that are spread throughout the building on both floors, even up in the attic. They circulate the groundwater. In the summer, it cools it. The ground underneath stays at a relative 50-degree temperature where this water cycles, the glycol cycles through. So in the summer, it creates cooler water, and in the winter, it warms the water, and the heat pumps circulate it throughout, to the point where we have thermostats in each room, and we can set the temperature how we prefer it from room to room. So it's a very efficient system. And one of the benefits that we have with the system, not only does it not use traditional fossil fuels, but it is environmentally friendly, and there's a tax incentive for governments or nonprofits that put a system like this in place. So in October of 2024, Studio GC, who is the architect firm and the project manager that we work with on the construction of the new station, asked for our assistance in completing an application for a tax benefit through a federal program created under the Inflation Reduction Act. The benefit sought by Studio GC is called the Energy Efficient Commercial Building Deduction, or 179D. So in order to process the application for the tax benefit for Studio GC, they retained a company called Alliant Group. Now, Alliant Group, they've worked with on many of the projects in the past that uses the geothermal technology or renewable energy technology, such as this. Alliant Group advised that they specialize in understanding unique incentives within the Inflation Reduction Act, such as the investment tax credit. And for the past 2 decades, they've established themselves as the nation's leading tax consultancy. They reported that they have provided over $16 billion in tax incentives to thousands of businesses, nonprofits, and government entities like us. So while working with staff from the Alliant Group to accommodate the application process for Studio GC, we were notified that the village may qualify for a tax incentive known as the Advanced Energy Project Investments Tax Credit because of our investment in this geothermal system, particularly all of the wells and the heat pumps and the equipment that we put into it. Tax-exempt organizations like the village are eligible for awards for investing in these technologies, ranging anywhere from 6 to 50% of the total investment made in the project. So in our case, this includes our ground source heat pumps, the geothermal wells, and all other equipment, which equates to approximately 30 to 40% of the qualified energy property cost from what we spend. So according to the Alliant Group representatives, this is estimated to be a return to the village of anywhere from $100,000 to $125,000.
Nice.
Alliant Group has offered to assist us in the planning and submission related to the energy tax credit in return for a fixed rate fee of $15,000. Their proposal identifies 3 different phases that they would have to assist in. These phases include the initial project assessment, where the determination would be made whether we qualify or not, the energy project analysis and application, and then finally the reporting and compliance phase. Basically, if they go through the initial phase, complete the application, look at all of our investment and feel that it doesn't fit, that we wouldn't get a return on it, we don't owe them anything. And the only way we would pay them that $15,000 is if we were to receive the tax credit. So there's no risk to the village for seeking out this benefit. Under the agreement with Alliant, if the board so approves, that they would prepare a final report and will also include compliance services for a period of 5 more years after the credits are received to ensure that the energy credits are maintained. So therefore, it's staff's recommendation that the board enter an agreement with Alliant Group for the tax credit services that I've outlined above. Following the work session presentation, the consensus of the board was to support applying for the federal tax credit by executing an agreement with Alliant. So should the board concur with staff's recommendation, an appropriate motion would now be in order.
Motion, please.
Mayor, move to approve an agreement with Alliant on the terms and conditions therein contained relating to the application of tax credit incentives and to authorize the village president and village clerk to execute same.
Second.
Motion by trustee Angel, second by trustee Mokena. Any questions or comments from the board?
I have a quick question. You know, I understand the green side of this whole thing, but long-term talking about efficiency, I understand how the system works, a lot of pumps that are running. At the end of the day, if we look at a time frame and what it would cost us to run the pumps versus heating it traditionally, is there any studies done, like, are you really saving any money long-term? I understand we're getting tax credits to subsidize to put it in, but are we going to spend more money in the long run running all these pumps? Do you know if there's any studies?
I can say I wasn't here when the initial decision was made to it, but in talking with Studio GC after the fact, they said that the cost savings over the long term will be incredibly beneficial to the village.
Yeah, because I've seen this kind of system before, basically put into homes on a much smaller scale, and the return wasn't what was promised, and that's why I was wondering if there were studies on it. So, but anyway, that's just my comment on it.
Well, when you're here 20 years from now, Chief, you can let us know.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of tax credits that are good on the front side, but long term, they really don't pay off, so, I'm not sure about
And
that.
this was, we didn't even know we would qualify for a tax credit. The village doesn't typically pay taxes, so knowing that we can now submit for at least some money on our return was...
Oh, yeah, I agree totally on that. If it's out there, it's available to us, we should take advantage of that, for sure.
Yeah, Chief, that's a no-brainer.
Any other questions or comments? Okay, we have a motion on the floor and properly seconded. Clerk, please take the roll.
Trustee Engler? Aye. Trustee Latania?
Aye.
Trustee Roberts?
Aye.
Trustee Germany?
Aye.
Trustee Fedora? Aye. And Trustee Dolphiny?
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, what do we got? Report Road Resurfacing Project Phase 1 Design Engineering. Mr. Polk, please.
Thank you, Mayor Board. At the January 13th, 2025 Village Board work session, budget work session, staff provided an update on the grant application efforts for the LaPorte Road resurfacing project. This project will extend from Front Street to LaGrange Road, and it was submitted to the Will County Transportation Committee for potential grant funding. The Will County Transportation Committee is responsible for programming regional transportation grant funds in the area. Up for consideration tonight is a professional engineering services agreement with Christopher B. Burke Engineering Limited for the Phase 1 design engineering. CBEL, as it's often referred to, which is the design firm, previously provided similar services for the 191st Street resurfacing grant project, and also facilitated the initial grant application for the LaPorte Road location. Phase 1 design engineering is the preliminary engineering design work that will be submitted then to IDOT to advance the grant process. The subsequent Phase 2 design will involve more detailed engineering and positioning the village for possible future grant funding for the actual project. The funding for the Phase 1 engineering will come from the village's motor fuel tax funds, and the total contract for Phase 1 services is $100,000, not to exceed $100,000, as stipulated in the agreement. The resolution for improvement, or the BLR form, formalizes the village's commitment to funding for Phase 1 services using those MFT funds. Additionally, grant funds have been awarded for the Phase 2 detailed engineering costs. The Phase 2 engineering firm selection will be done following a IDOT mandated RFQ, or request for qualification selection process, upon completion of the Phase 1. So we need to complete Phase 1 to move on to Phase 2. It's important to note that due to the parameters of the grant funding, the project classifications under resurfacing only, as such, new infrastructure such as new sidewalks or landscaping or other additions are ineligible under this grant funding category. Expanding the project scope beyond that, beyond the approved resurfacing elements, could require reclassification of the project itself and funding, or delay in the funding eligibility. Phase 3 of the construction, engineering, and actual improvements currently are estimated at over $4 million, or not formally funded in this grant cycle. However, staff is optimistic that as we move forward and improve our standing and move the project along, that we could possibly have something scheduled for before 2030. So it is my recommendation that we move forward with awarding this design grant award tonight.
Motion, please.
Mayor, move to authorize a professional engineering services agreement in the amount not to exceed $100,000 between the Village of Mokena and Christopher B. Burke Engineering Limited for Phase 1 design engineering services for the LaPorte Road resurfacing project, and to authorize village president and village clerk to execute same.
Second.
Motion by trustee Engler, second by trustee Matenius. Any questions or comments from the board? We have a motion on the floor and properly seconded. Clerk, please state the roll.
Trustee Engler.
Aye.
Trustee Matanian.
Aye.
Trustee Roberts.
Aye.
Trustee Germany.
Aye.
Trustee Fedora. Aye. And Trustee Dauphiné.
Motion carried. Thank you, Dan.
Thank you.
Okay, village administrator comments.
Thank you, Mayor. Can lead us off this evening.
Thank you, John. New businesses for March of 2025. We do have 5 new businesses in town. Great Property Services, Trade Office Storage, the Hive Program, a Home Office, Old National Bank, Professional Retail and Office, Glatz Management Services as a management office, and S Mechanical as a warehouse use. With it being March, I know it's an exciting time for everybody to get out and visit our local businesses. So I would hope that encourage everybody to visit these businesses in addition to all the businesses that we have in town, especially with the weather that we're having. It's a great time to get out into the yard and begin the spring cleanup. So welcome to these businesses, and like I said, encourage everybody to get out and welcome them.
Thank you, Mr. Cam. And we'd also like to congratulate our recently retired Mr. Rob Scholes. Mr. Scholes was here for just over 27 years. Worked his way through our Department of Public Works with retiring as our Streets and Grounds Superintendent. Brenda, if you don't mind handing us forward. So I'd like to thank Mr. Scholes for all his dedicated work and efforts here throughout the years, and wish him well, relaxing while the snow is falling, and not for 27 years, and actually he said 15 before that with IDOT, not thinking about that. So thank you, Rob. Thank you for all your hard work and dedication here for the Village of Mokena. To move us forward, we'd also like to publicly congratulate our Mr. Carl Block on his induction to the Joliet Catholic Academy's Hall of Champions that happened here in February. So congratulations, Mr. Block.
What did you do for that?
I drilled a long time. It was for business and industry, so it was service to the community.
Awesome. Good job.
Thank you.
And that's what we have, Mayor.
Okay, thank you, John. Trustee comments. Trustee Roberts.
Yeah, already comments tonight.
Trustee Fedora.
Congrats to Rob Scholes on his retirement. He's put in a lot of years here, doing a lot of work here for the village, so well-deserved retirement. And with this warmer weather, it's not too soon to start thinking about summer, and as of a few hours ago, 4th of July parade applications are now available on Mokena.com if anybody would like to participate. Businesses, organizations, residents who want to just come out and have an entry and start a new memory, feel free to come out. So, of course, 4th of July, 10 a.m. step off.
Thank you, Melissa. Trustee Matenius.
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, congratulations to Rob Scholes. He's going to start enjoying his life now. I think he had enough of plowing snow and being out in the cold and stuff. So good for you, Rob. Congratulations. As Melissa said, we're starting to get better weather. The kids are going to be out playing in the street. Please be careful when you're driving because they're going to come out. You're not going to see them. So keep your eyes open. Look out for our youth so that nobody gets hurt. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, George. Trustee Weaver.
Yes, again, we're going to congratulate Seth Mendoza and Liam Kelly for their wrestling championships. I'd like to welcome Alejandro and Christopher. Looking forward to working with you. And I'm going to start reminding people, cleanup day is April 12th. And Rob, we will expect to see you there. So you're retired, but you can still come help. That's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Duffner.
Thanks, Mayor. No, I'll echo similar comments. Congrats, Mr. Scholes, on his retirement, and then congrats to Alejandro and to Chris on their appointments to Public Works. Happy for them, excited for them to join the team. Thanks, Mayor.
Thank you, Ron.
I would reiterate what the other trustees have said, and I'd like to congratulate Carl. Good job. Like George said, watch out for the little ones crossing the street. They're going to be out and about with this warm weather. Thank goodness that snow's behind us. That's all I got to say.
I'll pass for tonight, thank you.
This is what's nice about the last. Ditto to everybody. I thank you, Jim, for bringing, tell us a little story about the truck that you brought with you.
Well, the Humvee I have in the parking lot, if you came in and didn't see it. Joe Warner, who created the Veterans Garage back in like 2013, 2014, after he passed away, I was volunteering there, and there was no driver for that vehicle, so I felt that Joe's vehicle should be at all our events that we do around the south suburbs, so I started driving it. And I drove it to over 30 events last year, and the uniqueness about the vehicle is Joe Warner donated kind of, that is the Aaron Tippin Humvee. And knowing that he was, we were looking at the 5K application today, I drove it, and it's in the parking lot right now. Did our winter maintenance on it, it's running great, and we're looking forward to it being here on July 4th with all our other vehicles. But I still volunteer out there at least once a week or more. This is taking a little bit more of my time than I thought originally. But the Veterans Garage is located in Manteno now, and if you haven't taken the time to go down there, the homes down there with our veterans is just absolutely unbelievable. Actually, it's very emotional. Most of them are in wheelchairs, 70s, 80s, 90s. We got a few 100-year-olds there. Of all prior wars, going back to World War II, we've got veterans there. They come over to our garage, they interact with us in their wheelchairs, and it's absolutely rewarding that I can spend this time doing that stuff, and I look forward this year to driving that vehicle to as many events as possible. I look forward to July 4th, where we're going to have it right here again, and so that's kind of the history a little bit about that vehicle out there.
Thanks, Jim. Thank you.
Yeah.
What you doing?
Okay, motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by trustee Engler, second by trustee Potatoes, all in favor?
Aye.
We're adjourned in the workshop.